Italy is an astounding country with an amazing amount of experiences to offer. And I've had the pleasure of traveling all throughout this country, from the waterways in Venice down to the pizza in Naples. But today I'm bringing you to an older Roman town turned city that not that many people visit, and it's called Rimini. Nowadays, this city is mostly known for its beach, and most of the people that visit here are Italians. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at two very different versions of Rimini and the surrounding area. One a beach town with an air of creativity, and the other a place of history where ancient Roman streets sit below locals carrying on long traditions. And when in Italy, you just have to eat. A lot. And in Rimini, there's pizza, gelato, and all that stuff that screams Italy. And we'll get to all that. But the local food of choice is a sandwich known as the piadina. Do it. Okay, and I've been told the best place to get one of them is the Casina del Bosco, excuse me. And it just started raining really hard, and I just got here, so I'm gonna try one. It is raining crazy hard all of a sudden, and I just got here yesterday. And the skies have been like gray, and it's been feeling like it's gonna rain since then, and finally it is raining. Grazie. So the sandwich just came and it's looking pretty good, but for the price, it better be really good. I mean, these ingredients better be really good. But we're in Italy, so usually that's the case. This one's got the raw ham, rucola, and that special cheese from the area that I can't pronounce the name of. Let's see, I think it's squarciaperone. The cheese and ham. It's very mild. And now for one more sandwich. This is the baghina, and it's made with porchetta that they make here. Pepper. Porchetta is good. Well, that sandwich was pretty good. It's definitely not the best sandwich I've ever had. That's over at Katz's in New York. But for 10 euros or so, pretty solid, and they fill you up. That dough is like, I don't know what it's got in it, lard or olive oil or something, but it's very filling. Still, for me, a little bit pricey, but definitely recommend it. And now I'm walking over here into Federico Fellini Park. And this city is quite notable because Fellini was born here, and well, the city at least claims a lot of stuff to do with Fellini, and over in that hotel over there, they filmed 8.5, or at least some scenes from it, so it's got a lot of connections to Fellini. And Rimini is definitely filled with a lot of nice places to walk around in, but since the seaside is probably the most known part of it, I'm gonna go start there and we'll go check that out. So when you get over to the coast, it's just like endless businesses over here. But to be honest, most of them aren't like the highest quality businesses. Food is more expensive and lower quality mostly. There's a few places. And then you've got to pay a lot to get a beach chair, but there's a huge, huge beach here. This is actually the very end of it, which is next to a big pier. But that beach goes on for many miles or kilometers. I couldn't give you the exact number of how much, but it's very, very big. Supposedly this beach can get quite crowded, but I seem to have lucked out because I'm here during the peak summer season and there's not that many people around. But regardless, if you want to go swimming here, a lounge chair plus umbrella can easily cost you over 20 euros. So if you're not planning on spending the entire day at the beach, that seems pretty steep to me. And although outside of high tide there's plenty of space in front of the beach, the folks charging for sunbeds do like to try to tell you not to sit in the sand there. No, we don't want an umbrella today.
No,
thank you.
Okay, moment.
You want some?
No, no si può, free beach.
Vole?
No, free beach. Non si può stare.
But luckily there are some official free beach areas where you can lay out your towel in the sand without being hassled. And the party vibe on the beach definitely increases as evening comes around. But there's a lesser known beach nearby that's rumored to be much more peaceful. The fastest way to get there is with what was probably the shortest ferry ride I've ever taken.
Lovely. Nice to meet you. See you soon.
Okay, ciao for now.
Ciao for now. I like that.
I used to work at a cafe in New York called Ciao for Now, so it's not original.
Sounds good though.
But I've just taken that ferry because there's another beach over on the other side that's supposed to be, I don't know if it's nicer, but at least a little bit more quaint. And you can just take that ferry that takes about 1 minute and costs €1.50, or you can walk for like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. So I thought I'd just take the ferry and try it out. And every time you try out something when you're traveling, you have another experience that you just wouldn't have otherwise. So that's how it goes. But let's go see what this beach looks like. Well, the beach over here is called Lido San Giuliano, by the way. And in essence, it looks very similar to what you find over at the beach in Rimini. But it seems a lot calmer here. I am here on a Monday, kind of in the late afternoon, so it's not the most busy time at the beach. And as you can see, the weather's very, very mild for the middle of summer. It's quite nice though, because the water's still warm, you can go swimming. But it does seem like it's a little bit more maybe familiar. So that massive beach over in Rimini right over there is not only over tourism, don't get me wrong, it's also nice. But this one could be a nice little escape from some time in Rimini if you spend more time here. Or it could just be a nice alternative and more quaint place to visit. This is definitely the kind of place where you just want to kick your sandals off and walk around barefoot. And they only have these signs in Italian, but there's a lot of different marine life here. Turtles, dolphins, some sharks. In fact, Italy is kind of known to have a irregularly high per capita amount of shark attacks per year. And if you were to make the little trip over here to San Giuliano, I'd definitely make sure to walk at least out to this point, because it's just really amazing. You go up just a little bit in elevation and you can see these mountains over where San Marino and just all of that beautiful Emilia-Romagna part of Italy is. And then out here, it's just the Adriatic Sea forever until Croatia, which you just can't see at all. I don't think even on a clear day you'd be able to see Croatia, but maybe if a local's watching, you could fill me in on that. But the thing is, I have had one day where there were almost no clouds in the sky here, but even then it wasn't really clear. There's quite a haze, and there's kind of, from what I've been told by locals, a bit of a pollution haze that is especially strong during summer, but is really here a little bit year-round, and the air quality is worse than most of the other parts of Italy as a result. I wouldn't say it compares to other places in the world that I've been where the air quality can actually kind of make you sick, but it is worth keeping in mind that it can get a bit hazy here, so the views don't go as far as they could, as they used to, I don't know. But also, if you're really sensitive to that kind of stuff, you probably want to keep track of it before visiting. And over there, you've got the long beach. And then on the other side here, you've got the long coast going all the way up to Venice and beyond. And then Slovenia, Croatia, if you kept following the curve. It's a really nice place to visit here. But these waves have really gotten big. In fact, 20 minutes ago when I got here, I don't think they were even this big. Look at that splash. And the favorite pastime of people around here later in the afternoon and in the evening seems to be sitting on these things and hanging out. And then you also have to pay for umbrellas everywhere. There's no free umbrellas. But when you come later, you can kind of sit on the umbrellas or hang out around the umbrellas and not pay for them. So people like to do that too. But since we've gotten a good idea of what there is along the coast and on the beach, let's go check out the older part of the city of Rimini. And just on my walk back to the ferry, I noticed that there's this abandoned hotel here. Hotel delle Nazioni, I guess. Looks like a really old hotel, maybe from before the 50s even. I don't think you're supposed to enter here, beyond at least where I am. But other than this little sign, there's nothing really stopping you from going in. I think I'll skip going in because it's not really allowed. But it's very interesting to see, and it also looks like there's a current project to renovate this building. I suppose it's these kind of random pieces of history from all eras that you'll find around Italy that make it a really interesting country to visit. Gelato time. Okay, I would do RBR with pistachio. Is it okay though, or you think it would be good? Okay, RBR with pistachio. What would you recommend? Okay.
If you're hungry, the cone.
Well, okay. Maybe you're gonna put chocolate in the cone.
Yeah, always
in the cup.
It's the same.
Maybe try it in the cup with the chocolate. Usually I eat the cone, but try this. What's your favorite flavor?
Pistachio.
Pistachio. It's the best one, huh? Thank you so much. Can we pay with card here? Yeah. Is that cool? Thanks. Ooh. And you should come over here for the gelato. 3 BIS or BIS. Red velvet gelato in Italy. I thought that was like illegal, but I got it. Pistachio from Sicily. Like it should be. Red velvet, white chocolate, and mascarpone. It's really sweet. But it tastes like a red velvet cake. 2 persone, per favore. Grazie. But the thing that I think is probably most spectacular about Rimini is that you basically get 2 cities for the price of 1. Just a short 10-minute walk away from the beach, there's an old town with thousands of years of history. To just give you a little example, the arch behind me, known as the Porta Montonara, is over 2,000 years old and has been successfully reconstructed and moved multiple times, including after it was bombed during World War II. And even during just a very short walk through the old town, you can really feel the history in the air. I mean, the much larger Arco de Augusto, or Arch of Augustus, is just down the way. It's over 2,000 years old too. In fact, it was constructed in 87 BC, which makes it the oldest preserved arch in Italy. Back in the olden times, this arch was the main entrance to the old town. And from the arch, you can just walk a straight line all the way to the other side of the old town, and it's all a shopping street. This is really a big arch. There's all kinds of random stuff going on here in the old town. I don't even know what these guys behind here are doing, but it's something. And the old town is really set up nice for a visit because there are these markers that give you all of the necessary information about notable sites like this church, and they have it in English and Italian. Rimini is also home to a few different markets. There's an open air one that happens a few times a week, and then there's this indoor one that's open every day. And if you don't find what you're looking for at the indoor market, there's also a grocery store inside of it.
Hai bisogno?
Sì, solo un baguette.
Posso spezzarla?
No, non capisco, sorry.
Posso tagliarla?
Sì, por favore. Grazie.
Prego.
Buona giornata.
Grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao.
They have just about everything here. And right upon exiting the old city, you get to the Ponte di Tiberio, an old Roman bridge that was constructed over 2,000 years ago. And to be honest, I'm finding this smaller city quite refreshing, especially when I compare it to other places I visited in Italy, like Rome or Venice, that are at times just completely overrun with tourists and really hard to enjoy when it's like that. And by the way, there are over 1,000 hotels in Rimini, which means you have a lot of choice when you're visiting. But for the 5 days that I stayed here this summer, I chose to stay in a locally run hotel, and it only cost me about 50 euros a night. I will be sharing my hotel experience here in Rimini in another video, along with a few other videos from this trip to Italy as well. So do make sure you're subscribed to my channel with alerts on to be notified when those videos come out. But outside of the city, there's also really a lot to see in this area. And today I'm taking a very short train ride over to Santarcangelo di Romagna. And the second you get to the old town, you start to feel like you've been transported to somewhere a little bit further north in Italy. Since I'm visiting on a Sunday and it's the mid-afternoon, things are very, very quiet here. Unfortunately, the city's castle has very limited opening hours. And to visit, you have to book a private tour in Italian, so I didn't manage to set that up. But just taking a peek from the outside is definitely rewarding, and this city is just littered with beautiful places to check out. It feels like each small street has something unique to see. But I find that's the case often in smaller cities all around Italy.
Grazie, buona giornata.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Solo un poco di italiano.
Ok, benissimo, si capisce.
Però pizza.
Pizza.
Quali sono queste?
Questa è mozzarella e pomodoro.
Ah, ok. E altra cosa è o solo mozzarella e pomodoro?
Posso metterci
ancora?
così, salame piccante.
Ok, solo mozzarella e pomodoro.
Ok.
Grazie. È possibile pagare con carta?
Sì.
Ok.
7,60. Ok.
Grazie.
Parli bene italiano?
No, è come un melange, no, un mezclo.
Una mescola, sì, un misto di tutto.
Sí, de español, de francés, de italiano. Grazie, mille grazie.
Prego.
Ciao.
Ciao.
And though simple, this pizzeria served up some of the tastier pizza I've had in Italy. And trust me, we're talking hundreds of pizzas around the country. But a slice of pizza, however nice, was no match for my appetite. And it's pretty much always time for a nice aperitivo in Italy. By the way, aperitivo is basically like an aperitif in English, or a drink that gets you ready to eat. In Italy, this term is a little bit more broad though, and it usually refers to sitting around sipping your beverage of choice. At some places, this even means that you get free snacks to go with your drink. And while that's not the case today, I did manage to get a tasty plate of charcuterie. I was told that it's most often referred to here as affettato. Now, as much as the old town of Santarcangelo is home to astonishing beauty, right outside of the town there's another kind of beauty that just can't be missed. Butonia, also referred to as the Mutoid Waste Company, is a place that the Italian authorities recognize as an artistic park. There's a community of artists here that produce unique and really impressive art from waste industrial materials. And it's not just another place to visit. There's a bunch of artists that live and work here, and they mostly prefer not to be on camera. So out of respect for that, I did limit what I filmed here. But Mutonia is really a place like no other that I've experienced in the world, and all I can say is that you should probably go there and experience it too. And it's worth noting that you don't have to pay any money to come and check out the art here. I mean, I don't think I've seen this much art made out of trash anywhere else in the world. Just about everything goes to use over here. But as I've been told, you can't just be here once, so I guess I'll come back. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you decide to take a trip to Italy, this will be the place that you visit. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for many more videos.